Triad, the word alone puts a chill in the public spine. Last month, the Government Fight Crime Committee published this report. It suggested new tough measures against Hong Kong's largest organized crime ring. But some people aren't satisfied. Tonight on Focus, we'll find out why. Recently, Focus interviewed a young ex-Triad member on the condition that we protect his identity. He's now trying to start a new life after serving 5 years in prison for robbery. He joined the Triads when he was 13.
咁就同我到同學嗰班咧，即係都係黑社會㗎啦。咁啊，即係大家玩埋啦，即係呢度去嗰度去咁啊，有時去下 party 啊，咁啊，後期咁佢叫我加入黑社會，我諗下都冇乜問題啊，橫掂都玩開嘅。即係有時打下交啊，都唔會話即係冇人幫咁樣啦，即係有人幫下自己，咁啊覺得幾好咁樣啦。即係嗰時細嘅就冇諗過揾錢嘅，即係後期咧，即係搏有時即係幫啲所謂大佬睇戲啦。咁有時啊，譬如有啲嘢撈啊，買下白粉啊，做下數啊，咁啊睇下場咁樣啦。
Triads aren't a new problem in Hong Kong. They've been here for 140 years. Historically, Triads were heroic figures, offering protection and assistance to the oppressed. As recently as the 1960s, Triads cooperated with the police against Maoist uprising in the territory. But today's Triads exist only to make money, and most of the means they employed are illegal. The government's approach to the Triad problem has varied widely in the past 20 years. A crackdown on corruption in the 70s broke the backbone of crime's syndicate power. And for the next decade, the government claimed Triads were no longer a major problem. But last year, officials began to admit what the public had long known, that Triads were once again a serious threat to society. The Fight Crime Committee's report and its suggestions for tough new measures soon followed. But the government's wavering stance on Triads has affected the credibility of the new report.
The governor has asked us to consider to what extent we have to sacrifice some of our civil liberties to deal with the problems. I mean, my first response is, what exactly is the problem? Has the problem been sufficiently identified, and is one reasonably satisfied with the sources of information? My answer at the moment is no.
I think the general public will have a feeling, very strong, that the Triad problem, in fact, are very serious, and then it really get into every sector of our society.
以前嗰啲打劫咧，好多時都係普通係自己去嘅啫，即係譬如自己冇錢或者3兩個啊，即係冇錢使啊，咁樣就去打劫嘅。依家啲即係變咗唔同啦，即係依家嗰啲揾錢咧就。即係佢，即係有組織性嘅，即係周長計劃啦，有啲咁啊好多即係佢揾到錢啊，唔一定話係即係冇錢使啊，即係佢起碼即係揾啲大單啲嘅啦，咁樣，或者啲即係做咗翻嚟唔係話即係使咁簡單嘅，或者可能即係揾咗翻嚟咧，另外將呢筆錢啊轉去第度發展咁樣啦。
The question is whether even the present report shows the full extent of the Triad problem. There are still many questions left unanswered. For instance, how many Triad members are there now? And how much of Hong Kong's criminal activity are Triads really responsible for? This police raid was carried out against a gang described as one of the most vicious Hong Kong has ever seen. These men weren't Triads, but a gang of recent arrivals from China, popularly known as big circle gangs, which are only loosely associated with Triads.
咁你有冇關係？一樣有關係嘅啫，即係或者譬如即係接裝啊、賣槍啊各方面，即係佢根本已經呢啲所謂有聯繫啦，就只不過佢嗰種聯繫就係交易方式咁樣。如果即係以我嚟睇計證就唔承認佢嘅，佢只係即係普通一班人圍埋咁樣。
The big circle gangs are behind a good portion of Hong Kong's serious crime, but they won't be affected by many of the report's anti-Triad measures. Triads are responsible for a large share of Hong Kong's crime. They aren't being caught at it. Police say that in the past 3 years, only 8 to 9% of all people prosecuted are believed to have triad connections, and less than 0.5% of court cases involve people with known triad connections. This is one of the scenes that triads are particularly associated with. Triads are also found in For instance, there has been increasing alarm at triad activities among youth, especially in secondary schools.
好耐之前已經有㗎啦，呢啲。
而家個問題係咪越嚟越嚴重啊？定係
即係我睇法就係依家就多咗，即係因為佢啱，即係所謂啱 key 啊嘛，嗰班人，即係佢讀書嗰班，就以前就冇咁犀利啦。
Chinese University sociologist Dr. Zheng Yudhua has been studying the problem of juvenile delinquency.
A student might claim himself or herself as associated with a triad member, but who knows whether or not she really is involved. I still do not believe that 20% of the student population in one school have involvement with triads. But the triad societies, I think they are making a good doing a good job in recruiting students.
But why are triads apparently making progress, not only in schools, but also in the criminal scene? Urban councillor LC2 says triads are aided by corruption within the government.
For example, in our own department, you can sometimes get officers who are very willing to try to help in hawker problems. There are others who seem as if they're going all the way with the illegal hawkers. And it's only indirectly you can get that information, and you can see by the circumstances what's going on. I would think you'll find it in immigration and various other departments.
Mrs. Tu also feels triad activities within the police force is hindering honest policemen in their operations against triads.
講遠啲，以前嚟講咧，即係嗰時百花齊放啦，係咪先？即係有貪污嗰時啦，即係叫做。